Well, hello, my berries. It's me, Darkberry 32, and I'm coming to you today with a Dear Darkberry. Today is an unconventional Dear Darkberry because it's actually coming from me. I am wanting to give you guys information on my weight loss and what I am doing. Now, I'm going to start off right away. Disclaimer: I am not a dietitian. I am not a doctor. I don't have any kind of medical profession around dieting or weight loss. However, I am coming on just to tell you guys what I have done in the past and what has worked for me. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to pass that information on to you, and in hopes that if that is something that you're struggling with, maybe this is another way that you can actually tackle this lifestyle change. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Hello, my berries. It's me, Darkberry 32.
Where do we go from? Where do we go from here? No one can save us from keeping clear. I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you now.
All right, so I have pretty much three different things that I do together that works for me and has worked for me in the past to lose weight. And I'm going to tell you right now, one without the other, it just doesn't work. There's a whole combination. So there's three things. One is MyFitnessPal or some type of tracker that will track your food. If you can put your food in and it tracks you and lets you know how much you're eating, how much you're supposed to eat, that type of deal, that works. Secondly, making sure you have the types of food in the house to eat. And then, and along with that, having the food, I intermittent fast with that food. So that's kind of like a 2A, 2B type of thing. So you got one, the fitness tracker, as far as putting in your food, which is for me, MyFitnessPal. Number two would be the type of food that you have. And then 2B would be also intermittent fasting. Number three would be some form of exercise, some type of movement. Now, having said number three, you don't actually have to exercise to lose weight. Let's just get that clear. However, it will boost the weight loss faster, and also you gain more calories to eat. So let me just dive in so I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay, so with MyFitnessPal, you start off by building yourself a profile, just like any other social media, correct? So you build yourself a profile, then it starts to ask you different questions. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? What do you want to do? Do you want to gain? Do you want to lose? Do you want to maintain? And when you put this information in, it calculates things, it does its magic behind the scenes, and it lets you know, okay, if you move this amount of time, like if you move a lot or if you don't move at all or whatever, because it's going to ask you those questions, this is the amount of calories that you can eat. Okay? Pretty clear, straight to the point. This is how many calories you can eat. Once you have all that information in, so then now you start to track your food. So say for instance you want to get a hot dog either from a fast food restaurant or from your home. There's two different ways of putting it in. You can go to MyFitnessPal and you can look up the restaurant that you're going to. Now, sometimes the restaurants are not always in there, especially if they're like local mom and pop type stops. So what you can do is try to find something that is close to what you're about to eat. And then if you're eating from home, you could always take the packaging. There's a area here. Let me show you guys real fast. There's an area on MyFitnessPal where you can actually scan the information off of the back of the product that you're trying to consume, and you can scan it directly in to your MyFitnessPal. So here we are right here, right? And you see that little barcode right here at the top? You click on that barcode and then a little scanner comes up. You scan your food and then you make sure that you tell, once you scan your food, it'll say, okay, for one hot dog, this is how many calories. What if you're eating two hot dogs? There's a way to also on that same screen to punch on how many servings you're eating. So that is the key, to make sure that you track how many servings you're eating. So say for instance a bag of potato chips, like baked lays, they'll say for I think 140 calories you can have 17. Now yeah, they come in, some are kind of broken up, so you just kind of guesstimate, but you make sure you stay within that realm. The closer you stay within the realm of the serving size and you put that into my it's gonna work. Okay, so you're putting everything into MyFitnessPal. You're tracking it, correct? So once you track everything, at the end of the day, it'll say you can close out your diary, which is what it is, because you tracked your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, whatever you've eaten for your snack, you track it. It will tell you at the top if you're eating too much, or if you're staying within your calorie range, or if you're not eating enough. Because I know for me, there are days where I'm so busy, like out walking, doing things around the house, making videos, and I don't necessarily track, or sorry, I don't necessarily eat all the calories I'm supposed to eat. Sometimes I'll look, I'm like, oh, I've only eaten 800 calories today, which is so mind blowing, because when you start tracking, it just keeps you mindful. Because before, when I don't track, I'm eating, I'm like, oh, I'm not eating that much, whatever. But it's the serving sizes that will catch you. So make sure you go in, track, and do your serving sizes. Make sure you stay, you pay attention to your diary on whatever tracker that you're using. Like I said, for me, it's MyFitnessPal. So if you're using MyFitnessPal, at the top it'll tell you this is how much you're supposed to eat. This is how much you have eaten. This is how much you have earned during exercise, and this is how much you have remaining. And if you want, you can eat all those calories that you have, remaining, especially at the beginning, because it's going to be kind of, sometimes it's difficult to just start taking things away. But eat what it tells you to eat, and you should be fine. Now, the problem is when you go over. And then, say for instance, you do all of this for a week and you get on scale and you're like, oh my God, I didn't lose any weight. You really need to make sure that you're looking at your serving sizes, because I'm going to tell you right now, just because you're putting something in a computer doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. You have to make sure you are eating the correct serving sizes, and that you're putting those correct serving sizes inside of your tracker. Okay? So once you've done that, you should be good to go. So the second part, making sure you have some good foods in the house. Like I keep a lot of pears, strawberries, grapes, those sorts of fruits in my home. I make sure I have ground turkey, chicken breast, all that type of stuff in the house. Green beans, broccoli, corn, things that I like to eat, I keep it in the house. Potatoes. Now, say for instance you eat a baked potato. You can have a baked potato, but you're probably going to want to put sour cream and cheese, and that's fine. You can do that. But make sure you look at the serving size, guys. Don't just put a whole dollop and say, oh, that's one serving. No, you have to make sure that you're measuring correctly. And so you can have those things. I've had French fries. I've had burgers. I've had chicken tortilla soup. I've had a Whataburger, fast food restaurant. I've had those things. I just make sure I track them. I've gone into grocery stores and bought sub sandwiches. I just make sure I put it into MyFitnessPal. Now, what helps me make sure I stay full is my intermittent fasting. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail about intermittent fasting. I'm just going to tell you a vague thing about it, okay? So intermittent fasting is basically where you have a certain period of time in the day that you will eat, that you will consume your food. So for me, it's from 2 o'clock to 10 p.m. And I do that, one, because I am a diabetic. It actually helps diabetics. That's one. Because you're not constantly putting food in your body all day long and making your insulin levels go up and down, up and down, up and up, 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 up. You're not doing that. So for me, it helps. Secondly, because I eat from 2 to 10, I make sure I eat good foods. Now, like I said, all of these things that I'm telling you, they all interlock. Because you could intermittent fast and go out and eat McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and that piece of cake that mama made and all that from 2 to 10. And then you're going to say, I ain't lose no weight. You can't do that. You can't do that. You still have to stay within your calorie range. You have to. Calories in, calories burn. That's how you lose weight. Okay? Consume, you burn. You have a calorie deficit. That's how it works. You can't just be going out there eating 10,000 calories and say, "Oh, I only ate from 2 to 10." Well, what'd you eat between 2 to 10? You can't do that, okay? All right. So that, to me, in a nutshell, is intermittent fasting. I fast from 10 p.m. all the way until 2 o'clock p.m. So 10 p.m. all the way to 2 p.m. And then I eat from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Get it? So I have 8 hours of when I get to eat. In the meantime, I'm either working here at home or I am out walking on the weekends, and I get to sleep in a little bit on the weekends, so then I can get up and walk, and then by the time I come home I can take a shower and then I can eat. So it kind of works out. I don't know if you've ever had those weekends where you're like, okay guys, we got to get up, you got to take your kids to soccer, and you got to do this, and then you got to go shopping, and you got to do that, and before you know it, it's like 3 o'clock and you haven't eaten. It's sort of like that. So from 2 to 10. And another thing, if I am so busy and I don't start eating until 3, I eat from 3 to 11. So I just kind of shift it a little bit. It just depends. Sometimes your meals are not ready. So I try to stick to it that way. Okay, so that brings us to our third step. Our third step for me is walking. I love, 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 love walking, guys. I don't know what it is. It's something where I can take time for myself. I can plug in my phone and go to Audible and listen to a book, or sometimes it depends on where I'm walking. I can watch YouTube videos like while I'm walking or whatever. I love it. I love that if I haven't gotten the steps that I wanted to get in, that I can just stand up right here in my home and get to pacing. I learned that from my dad. Hey, Dad, if you're watching. So you can just walk, 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 walk in place if you want to. There are walking videos on YouTube also, that if it's too cold outside and you don't want to, you don't want to deal with those elements out there, or if it's too hot, there are videos that you can find on YouTube, walking videos. Yes, walking videos. You can walk right there in your house. So, but for you, it could be something else. It could be running. It could be, in the gym. It could be whatever. When you do these exercises, so for me, I have a Fitbit. So when I do the walking, my Fitbit tracks through my Fitness Pal. I didn't tell you guys that. Yes. So if you have any type of tracker, Fitbit, whatever it is that you have, you can track that through my Fitness Pal, which is where I track my food. So when I'm walking, guess who picks it up? My Fitness Pal picks it up from Fitbit. They interlock together and it says, hey, Karen's been walking this many miles or this many steps. Give her some more calories to eat if she wants to. So that's kind of how it works. So so when you exercise like that, it will tell your my Fitness Pal or whatever tracker, I hope. But I know for my Fitness Pal, for my walking, it tells my Fitness Pal, hey, Karen's been walking, so go ahead and give her some more calories so she can eat. So yeah, so that's how it all works together, guys. And I actually lost a lot of weight. At least 20 pounds I did in 3 months. I lost 20 pounds by doing this. I did it slowly, but it worked. And I'm going to say, because I did it slowly, I don't, even though I've gained some of that back, and this was back in 2018, you can't really tell on my body that I have. Like, I know, but a lot of people look at me like, oh, but because I did it slowly, I didn't gain the weight back so fast. You know what I mean? How some people like to try to juice or whatever and do the cleanse, and then all of a sudden they put a piece of popcorn in their mouth, and all of a sudden all the weight then came back. And I'm just exaggerating, but y'all know what I mean. So I make sure that the things that I'm eating now, I make sure that I carry those over to my lifestyle. So that's why you hear people saying a lifestyle change. I make sure I do that. So try to incorporate the things that you're going to eat during your weight loss journey. Try to incorporate those things throughout your life. You know, make sure that you do keep those type of foods in your house. That's why I say always try to eat things that you're going to like. You know what I mean? So for me, it's turkey burgers. I love, love, love turkey burgers. So I just love burgers, period. So if I want to do that, I'm going to go ahead and do a turkey burger. I'm going to bake my fries so I can have it. I don't like to be without. I like to indulge, but I have to indulge in a healthy way. So that is it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that that you want to bring over to me, feel free to do that. Put your questions below, and if you don't want to put your questions below in the comments below, you can always email me at darkberry32 at gmail. Okay, guys. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it was. If you want more information, reach out to me. I can make another one as I go. And just to let you guys know before we end, I want to let you know that I have been on doing exactly what I just told you guys. Those 3 to 4 different not tricks, but ways that I, confront my weight loss. From the first week, I weighed in, I was 176. And then I weighed in on Saturday, and I was 171.2. So I'm very proud of that. I weighed in the next day, I was 170.8, so it's constantly coming off. So I'm not going to tell you anything that I wouldn't do. This is something that I'm going to do. If you want to also follow me on Fitbit, you can at Darkberry32, and you can also follow me on MyFitnessPal at Darkberry32. All right, guys. So thank you for joining me. I hope you found this very informative. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, okay? All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Tonight we'll go a different way, you and me. Tell your friends that this might take some time and you'll be back another day. I can see us breaking down the barrier. Oh yeah. With the speed of light we cross the stratosphere.